today's special online class of 7th Civics, that is called as equality. In this lesson, in this year, we will talk about equality. What type of equalities are there? Disequalities are there. And in this lesson, we will cover how is the economic inequalities in India. Let's start this lesson. A shirt in a market. A shirt in a market. In this lesson, we are trying to focus on some points. What is the process of shirt making? Who are involved? Which people are involved in this process? Let's see. These are main peoples engaged in this business. First one is farmer. What is farmer's role? We are checking that. What is trader? We will also check. Then weaver's role. In this lesson we have to check that. Merchant. What merchant's role in making that shirt? That is also important. Tailor and other workers. These are also, and exporters. These are the main partners or sharers of profit in a shirt. Now let's see, what is the process? What is the procedure of making shirt? First, cotton that is required for a shirt, making shirt, and that is prepared or manufactured by a farmer. He produces cotton. Second one is yarn from cotton. This is the second step of making a shirt, and that is made by workers. Third one is from yarn to cloth. That is by weavers. That is the most important step in making cotton. And fourth one, by cloth, we are making a shirt. This one is the fourth most important step, and that is done by tailor and other workers related to that work. Now let's see the first point, farmer's role. What is the role of a farmer in, let's see an example of a farmer. Here is an example of a Swapna. She is a farmer in a Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh district, and she is a small farmer. She has 2 or 3 acres land. Average in India, there is a lot of small farmers, and cotton from a trader. He gives him, she promises to sell her cotton to that trader. Here, Swapna has to sell her cotton to that particular trader. Why? That is most important. Because she borrows money from that trader. First thing. And at that time, she promises to that trader that whenever the crop is growing up, at that time she will sell her product to that trader only. Whenever she requires or he requires, a farmer requires medical help, at that time that traders help him. And for that purpose also, he or she has to sell their product to that particular trader. Cotton farming is only for 4 years, 4 months in a year. And whenever, in other months, whenever requirement is there, at that time, these farmers go to that traders only, and at that time, that trader helps them. And because of that only, they have to sell their product to that particular trader only. Now, what are the conditions laid by a trader to farmers? Because he gives money to that particular farmer, and he has put some conditions. Here are some conditions laid by a biggest. Let's see. Here is a trader is more richer than farmer, and he laid some conditions on farmer. First condition is that he has to sell his product to that particular trader only. That is the first condition. Then, whenever he or she sells or gives their product, at that time, whatever the market rate is there, they gives less than market rate to that farmer. That is the most important thing. And third thing is that highest interest rate. There is a very high interest rate. Now let's see one example. Here is Swapna's example. She borrowed 2,500 rupees from a trader, and she sell 4 quintals of cotton. That trader gives a rate of 1,500 rupees. Means here is a 6,000 rupees he gives her. And he cut his borrowed amount plus interest, that is 3,000 rupees. Means 2,500 rupees he borrowed and 500 rupees collect as interest. Approximately 20% for 4 to 5 months. That is a high interest rate. If we compare with annual, then that interest rate up to 40 to 50% means a farmer borrow 1,000 rupees. At that time, he has to repay 400 to 500 rupees per annum. That is the highest rate. If we compare with bank gives loan with 10 to 12% interest. But here it's up to 50% interest. That is a huge amount. Second one, whatever the market rate is there, that market rate was 1,800 rupees. But that trader gives only 1,500 rupees. Means here per quintal she loses 300 rupees. Means total loss was 1,200 rupees for 4 quintals. If she gives whatever market rate, at that time she gets 7,400 rupees. But this time she only gets 6,000 rupees. There is a huge loss of a farmer. Now let's see what are the steps after cotton ripened and goes to trader. After that, trader sells the cotton at the Kurnool cotton market. Ginning mill buys the cotton. These are the procedure. Now, ginning mill buys the cotton. Ginning mill removes the seeds and presses the cotton into bells. These all get compressed and making the bells. Spinning mills buys the bells. And after that, spinning mill spins the cotton into yarn. And that yarn helpful for making the cloth. Spinning mill sells the yarn to the yarn dealer. These are the major steps. But now we will see next important factor, and that is the cloth market in the Erode. What type of this market is there? This is the bi-weekly market, and that is the biggest market in the world. That is the cotton market. Cloth made by weavers from all over here comes for sale. And instructions about the type of cloth to be made are given in advance. What type of cloth that weaver has to make? He has to give an advance instruction for that. And he has to prepare, or he has to make that type of cloth only and nothing else. And third one is, since weaver do not know the price of cloth, they are at a loss and get very most higher workers are paid by very low salary. Weavers don't know where he weaved cloth, where that merchant sells, what rate, he doesn't know. He gets only minimum amount. And weavers and merchant, in between whatever the trade is there, that trader is called as putting out system. Now let's say what conditions laid by a merchant to weaver. There are also some conditions laid by a merchant to weavers. And what are these conditions? First thing is, there is a time bounding. Whatever the required amount of cloth he is ordered, he has to make in particular time. And for that purpose, he has to make that day and night. Many hard work is required, and after that, because of his hard work only, he can complete his order. Second thing is that low labor charges. There is a very low charges. And third one is, as per order, cloth only he has to make. His personal opinions has no value here at all. His personal interest, reverse personal interest, has no value at all. He has to make and he has to fulfill the orders as per merchant's requirement. Now, let's see the example. Putting out system. What is the putting out system? In this system, the weavers get yarn from the merchant and supply them the cloth. Here is benefit of weaver and benefit of a merchant. What is the benefit of weaver? First thing is that weaver doesn't invest for raw material required for cloth, that is yarn. Merchant produces, merchant gives him, and for that purpose he doesn't have to invest. That is the first most important factor. What is the second benefit of a weaver in this putting out system? What type of cloth? Suppose he makes XYZ type of cloth and market requirement is different. At that time his raw material goes west. But here nothing. Whatever type of a cloth cloth merchant gives order and at same order, he has to fulfill that. He has to make that type of cloth. And because of that only, he doesn't waste his raw material. Third one is, he doesn't have to find out where is the buyer. Ready-made, merchant gives yarn and also he buys his cotton. So here is a benefit, win-win situation, we can say that. But there are more benefit is for merchant. Whatever the requirement, weaver has to prepare. And merchant, most important, his profit of margin is here more. It saves money of the weavers as they do not have to buy yarn. Likewise, the problems of selling the cloth is also taken care of. Now let's see the financial calculation of a weaver here. A weaver requires minimum 2 looms for making a cloth. One loom costs approximately 20,000 rupees, means he has to invest 40,000 rupees for a loom. And on one loom, 2 men are required, 2 workers are required. And after that, whatever he gets, 3,500 per head per month. That is a very less amount. For that, he has to work for more than 12 hours also. Minimum on 2 looms, here 4 people have weightage. And after that, they get this type of amount. Now that cotton enters in next round. And it comes with exporting factory. Here, very much cloth is required and very much tailoring work is going on. Here we can see many tailors are there and they are preparing shirts and other whatever the garments they are making. The work is going on. Now, we can see the economic transaction here. The garment exporting factory near Delhi, garment exporting factories try to cut the cost and they get maximum work from workers at possible lowest rate. There are so many workers working in that garment factory and their rate was very less. Low rate is there. A tailor gets approximately 3,000 rupees per month. And he has to work more than 12 hours. Here are also some conditions put by that garment factory owner. What are the conditions? We will see that. Second thing is that there is for ironing and packaging 1.5 rupees per piece. He has to make ironing and pressing that and packing. Then checking. There is a quality control officer and he checks every piece. Whatever there is a mistake or there is a problem, defective piece, he has to cite it. And for that, heavy penalty put on that workers, especially on tailor. And that is the only work of supervisor for quality control officer. The next one, workers are thread cutting and buttoning for rupees 1,500 per month approximately. And for that work, especially ladies mostly preferred for that work. Ironing, ladies are preferred. For buttoning, ladies are preferred because there is only one reason, minimum amount have to give. Now this shirt come into next stage, and that is the shirt in the US. There is many super malls are there. We are seeing Big Bazaar and DMart and very much branded companies showrooms are there, and there is a chain of supermarket. So many shops are there, and so many districts and so many mega places. Their stores are there throughout the world. Now shirt enters in this. Now let's see. They buy their shirt for only 200 rupees. This from garment export factory. Then storage, and for that they spend 100 rupees. For advertising, you may see so many advertising, and we also see that one particular chapter in advertising. What is the type of advertising and how it affect and how we react for that advertising, we will see. And for that advertising, so many huge amount is spent by these companies, by these factory owners. Means approximately 600 rupees he spends, and here is a profit. He sells that shirt for rupees 1200 rupees. Means approximately 100% profit he collects from a single shirt. Now, most important factor from this lesson is there equality, market and equality. If we see foreign businessman makes huge profit in the market, he sells that shirt for 1200 rupees, which cost only 200 rupees, but he sells more than 100% profit he collects from a single shirt. Garment manufacturers only makes moderate profit. Then second most profitable in this business is a garment owner. First is exporter, foreign businessman. Second one is garment factory owner. These two people get more benefit from this. Now, what are the conditions paid by exporter on that workers? First thing, that is a time bounding. Whenever he gives that work, there is a time bound. Whatever the work he has to collect within time bound. Second one, heavy penalty. If he doesn't do that work on that occasion, there is a huge penalty. Might be that is possible he get 10 rupees per shirt, and as a penalty 20 or 30 rupees cutting. For example, heavy penalty for small mistakes also there is. His buttoning is not proper, if threading is not proper, at that time there is and such type of mistake, there is also huge penalties laid by the exporter on that workers, tailors and other workers. Now let's see, major gainers in the market are, first one is trader, second one is merchant, exporter and foreign merchants. These are the major gainers in the market. Now, who are the major losers in the market? First one is farmer, second one is weaver, and third one is workers, tailor and other workers. These are the major users in this all economic process. Now steps from the cotton to shirt. Let's compare. We have to compare here who makes shirt, whose contribution is more to prepare that shirt, to make that shirt. First one is because farmer, he is making a cotton. He is the most important. Second one is the yarn prepared by that worker. That is most important. Third one is cloth weaved by that weaver. That is most important. And fourth one is stitching by tailor. That is most important. These four factors make a shirt. But what is their profit margin? That is the lowest margin, and highest margin, they doesn't do anything. They only make a business. Use of market, make a business, and they earn money more than actual workers. Here is the difference. Now think on these points. Some make huge profit, some make moderate profit. Trader, businessman, merchant, foreign owners, these make huge profit or moderate profit. Nobody think about those who are working at the root level. Those who make that shirt, no one is helping for them. No one is thinking about them. That is the big problem. They remain poor in spite of their hard work. They are preparing their shirt, but despite of that, they remain poor. Who? First one is farmer, second one is trader, tailor, third one is weaver, and all workers. Now, let's do one activity. There is 9 points, and 9 points you have to put here by number, one by one. First, what is first step? Second, what is second step? And up to last step, you have to write here. This one is the activity. You have to do that.